Hello and welcome to another Community Safety and Security Live Forum here on the Serenity Resource Connector. I am Winsome and it is always a pleasure to host this program where I get to have some amazing conversation with a diverse group of people. And we are going to be traversing down to St. Elizabeth. This program is brought to you in partnership with the JCF Area 3, comprising of Clarendon, Manchester, and St. Elizabeth. And St. Elizabeth will be sharing how they've been fostering safer schools and communities this month in this space. And joining us to share in that regard, we're going to be having Inspector McCurdy Kane and Corporal Smith Shaw with us, sharing the strategies that they've been implementing there, the collaborations that they've been having with schools and communities as they go out and seek to create safer spaces. But of course, they can't do it without us as citizens. And so whether you're a parent, you are an involved, concerned child, member of the wider community, business community, all, this program is for you. Please participate, share your concerns, your recommendations, and let us join hands and heart together with our police as we seek to make St. Elizabeth Area 3, Jamaica, safe for schools and communities. Inspector McCurdy Kane, Corporal Smith Shaw, welcome to the Serenity Resource Connector Community Safety and Security Live Forum.
Thank you, ma'am. Good evening, good evening. Good evening, Jamaica.
Awesome. And already we have live viewers, so you can share with us where you are connecting from. We have Dejanay Baker, who shared from 6:51 p.m. Someone was excited to see you all and hear what it is that you're doing down there in St. Elizabeth to foster safer schools and communities. And you all have been up to some awesome things there. But before we go into all the initiatives and the programs, let's highlight some of the challenges that you are seeing, experiencing in the schools and the wider community in St. Elizabeth. And then we share how the police is tackling all of those that's happening and some of the specific initiatives that you're using. So let's hear what's going on.
Good evening again, Mrs. Witter, host of this evening's program, colleagues, viewers online on our various social media platforms. As you heard, I am Angela McCurdy Kane, and with me is Corporal Sonia Smith Shaw. I must, before proceeding, congratulate and commend you, Mrs. Witter, and your resourceful group there at Serenity Resource Community Connect on this awesome initiative which you have undertaken to highlight the policemen and women across Area 3 to empower our citizens and our colleagues alike. As you continue to partner with us, the police, I pray that you will continue to expand and not only stay within Area 3, but you will go further, that as you seek to, use this medium to educate and inform our citizens across Jamaica. And we are glad that we are able to be online to share with our citizens as we continue to seek to serve, protect, and reassure as our mission statement states. So Corporal Smith will now go ahead and she will speak about the challenges that we are having in school.
Good evening, everyone. Mrs. Witter, I must say thank you for having us. Thank you. And to our viewers online, thank you. In St. Elizabeth, it is not unique to St. Elizabeth. However, I am sure that other divisions would have had their challenges. But for us in St. Elizabeth, some of our major challenges are the students, parents, because we are from different background, then we deal with things a little different. So persons who are from the deep rural area of St. Elizabeth versus those who are on the front, you will see a trend in behavioral pattern. And I say this to say that the students, once they run afoul with the law and you speak with them, they're the ones that they do not, you cannot attack them really. So you have to know how, based on the areas that they are from, you really have to know how to navigate your way in order for them to really react to you in a positive manner. The challenges are not of such where we cannot deal with them. I think mostly it is with their behavioral pattern, transportation, that sort of thing. And after school, in some areas, we have that issue where students continue to loiter in the game shops. We're not having that much now that we are holding the space along with our school resource officers. And for now, that would be our challenges: the behavioral pattern, the loitering after school, and at the game shops. Those are what we have to contend with for now. And I think that we are really dealing with it. We are handling it in a better way than we were even last year and the year before. Though we had COVID and things kind of dwindled down, but I think we are getting better results now versus the years before.
And if I may add to Mrs. Witter,
Sure.
parent involvement of our parents plays a very vital role. So one of the challenges we are having is that our parents are not involved as we would have wanted them to be. So that is an additional challenge that we are having.
All right, and as Corporal Smith Shaw rightfully indicated, that's not unique to St. Elizabeth Division. Those are some of the challenges across Jamaica that we're grappling with. And and I've indicated in the comments, if you are aware of additional challenges in the school and the wider St. Elizabeth communities, please feel free to share. And as you share your challenges, please share your insights as to how additional things can be done to address these situations. All right, so we heard about the schools. What about the communities in general? Anything to highlight as to some of the challenges? Because we want to hear later on in terms of some of the things that are being done to address some of these challenges and how the citizens can play a part in helping the police to address these. So if you have some that you want to highlight, the challenges in the communities themselves.
Okay, I would love to see our citizens be more involved in that. We return to the days. I know it is challenging times, but we return to the days where the community raised the child. The citizen, you see a child out there doing things that he or she ought not to be doing, then reach out, correct that child, or make an effort to get to know the parent, or call a police station, bring it to the attention so we can have it dealt with.
All right, so we're saying we need to get back to the basics of life. All right, and that's very important. And we had last year, the year of early childhood development, And that in the early childhood sector, we had a group of parents, stakeholders in general from different institutions, and the way they demonstrated how they came together to create meaningful change at the early childhood level. If we could see that right across the board, that would make for a richer Jamaica in general, if we're able to see that where the parents take an active role in what's happening in the school. So we're hearing you over there in St. Elizabeth. All right, but you haven't been just sitting around and just with your hands tied. You have been actively engaged. As a matter of fact, we went through when we started. Wow, time's going by so quickly. When we started last year, we are over a year in this program where we have been collaborating. We started collaborating with Clarendon, and then we expanded this year to include Area 3. So we had gone through basically all the programs that the JCF have implemented in the communities. And one of the things that we wanted to highlight on this program, the reasons behind some of these programs and how it is that it helps in terms of building the bridge between citizen and the police and developing stronger communities. So I know there are a number of programs that you are engaged in, and we are going to share a little clip here since we start talking about schools. I just love the little ones. Let's take a look at this clip and then we continue the discussion.
Okay, thank you very much. Thank you very much.
All right, go that way now.
He said, I watched that. I get so excited. That looks like a career day activity.
You are correct. Right? Yes, that's right. And the children were so excited hearing themselves on the intercom.
Oh yes, and they wanted to see the light again, and that's
always
right. An awesome opportunity for the police to actually engage with the younger ones from the infant and early education sector. All right, so the role of the police in the community varied. So let's start with the schools. What are some of the initiatives that you're currently undertaking in the schools? I know we have the Safe Schools program, so we can start there, and any other initiative, collaboration that's taking place in the schools. We are back at school. We're in the second week of back to school, and I know a lot of things have been happening out there. Hi, Kate Dawkins. Thanks for joining us. All right. So go ahead and share what are some of the initiatives since the school year has started that you have been engaging the school community in. Corporal, go ahead and share.
Right. No, our schools, they are what we call our babies, even though not only the toddlers, but also in the high schools. And it is always a pleasure for us to go into the schools to share with our students, and especially the little ones there, that little clipping that you showed earlier. It is just heartwarming when you go to schools and you can engage them and they come and they ask you, and when you ask them what is it that they want to become, and they tell you that they want to become a police because of whatever the various reasons are, and it is just fun to have them around. And when we at the Community Safety and Security branch, when we nurture them from that stage, then we realize that as they grow older, the challenges are less for us to deal with. And that is what we endeavor to do as we go forth every school term. We share with them, whether we go in and we do we sharing their career days activity. If we go and we do presentations with them, we go and we have one-on-one with them, because especially in the high schools, a lot of students who are there who deem to have or are showing some signs of antisocial behavior. No, it's not all the time when we would have gotten reports that students are showing signs of antisocial behavior that it is really so. And that is where our school resource officers comes in, because they get to one-on-one with students and administrators. We go as far as to the homes, because many times there are things happening at the home and it affects the child in a way that they might not have anybody that they can talk to. So when they go to school, that negative energy push out. And you, on the other hand, might believe that that child is showing, is being resentful, or that child just don't have any behavior. But when that is referred to us at the Community Safety and Security Branch, we go in, we sit one-on-one with the Dean of Discipline, who we work very closely with, and then they explain the situation to us, and if needs be, then we need to visit the home. We go to the homes as well, and we one-on-one with the parents. To tell you that we have a program, a monitoring and evaluation program at the office, and this is an initiative that we took on, where students who are showing signs, in fact, and are showing little or no effort with their schoolwork and their behavior and all of that. And when we go into the home and we speak with the parents, that is when we realize that it is not really the child being disruptive as we would want to believe, but there are situations at home that are causing the child or the children to behave a particular way. Now, when we speak with the parents and they give us permission that yes, we can go ahead and we can monitor those students, then what we do, we get a book for them. We have them come to the office on a daily basis, where they basically report to us at the office. We look at their department, we see what they're doing at school, we check their books, we speak with the guidance counselor, we speak with the dean, and based on what we're getting, then we can match it up. And when they come, we sign their book, and when they go home, their parents will check that book, and that is when they will realize that we don't just say that we are monitoring the student, we are actually monitoring, because they come to us in the morning, we see their deportment, we ensure that they are properly attired, and we make sure that we follow up with them at school, with their teachers, their form teachers, or the dean, and we one-on-one, and then we realize that they have changed. We also have our curfew initiative that the CSS team will go out on a daily basis, where we would patrol in the town of Black River. We will go to the bus park. We will go to the areas that we know that students loiter in the afternoon after school, and we will ensure that they go straight home. So by at least 6:30, 7 o'clock, all students should be off the street. So that is just two of the programs we have. I will share another program as well that we have. It's our Adopt a Child initiative. And this is where the team CSS, and you if you realize, I keep mentioning the team, because we at the Community Safety and Security Branch, we work as a team. So for the past 4 years, we have been adopting a child from a particular institution that may be unable to provide all the necessary school supplies. Sometimes it is lunch money. Sometimes it is food supplies for the home. And we do all of that. And it is a team at Community Safety and Security that comes together and provide all of that and ensure that these students, some of them, they are not displaying any sign of antisocial behavior. They are good students, their grades are up, but they just need some mentoring and some monitoring. And we have seen where we have reached successes because students that we have taken on, some have already gone to university, some have been enrolled in the JCF, also JDF, and from time to time they will come back to the office and they will just update us. And it is always a pleasure to see how fine of a young man or young woman they have, become, all because of our intervention at an early age that has molded them and make them in the person they are today. So those are just some of the initiatives that we share, that we have here at the Community Safety and Security Branch.
And we have Kay Dawkins sharing that the team over there in Clarendon and Longville Park, to be specific, conduct similar initiatives at her school. And it's greatly appreciated as students' behavior sometimes positively changed. And I know we must have a lot of success stories over in St. Elizabeth, as well as you have shared. But where do you all find the time to do all these mothering and fathering?
I think there must be a balance.
Yes.
There must be a balance. And indeed, the team has worked above and beyond on a daily basis. And I know that the Area 3 can attest to that. Sometimes it is really a challenge for us because, as we say, that to find the resources at times it's challenging, but we dig deep into our extra reservoir. sometimes we have to cry on our commanding officer. Inspector Kane is always there. Sometimes she is like, not today, but just give her a little time and she'll cool off and we go back again. And each of us at the section, we really put our 2 cents in. And whether it is our personal time, whether it be monetary or otherwise, we just, it is just always a pleasure. Once we know that at the end of the day that we will change our lives, then it is just awesome. It is just awesome.
What I admire about the community safety team, since this program started, there's a passion. The JCF has been doing a great job in terms of selecting team members for the community safety team across Area 3. There's this passion that you bring to the job, and it's more than just a job. You can feel that you're deeply committed to what it is that you do. And really and truly, it helps to make policing that much easier, because if you're able to address some of these concerns, then you won't have to deal with the bigger issues that can spin off from that if it's left unaddressed. Awesome job that you're doing there. Do you have any police youth club in schools in St. Elizabeth?
Okay, we have been sensitizing some police youth clubs, and I am sure that before the end of the school term, we should be able to launch at least two of those clubs. We could say that they're ready. They are ready. They're just little tie up that we need to do, and then we are good to go. We are good to go. So we are onto it, And I am sure that for the coming year, very early, that we'll be able to launch the others that we have sensitized.
Awesome. All right. So we're moving from the schools and we are going to be looking now at youth engagement. How have you been engaging the youth to promote positive interactions and safety awareness among the youth? To your youth clubs or the schools in general? What are some of the engagements you've been having?
Okay. Yes, we do. We are engaged in almost all their activities through the youth clubs, the neighborhood watches, the CDCs, and I realized earlier you asked, how is it that we find time to do all of those? The church services that we have every month, we have a church service within our different police areas. We have persons who within their district or their areas who have their little clubs that we still go in and we share with them, even if they're not part of our police youth clubs. We still go in, we still do what we have to do, we still contribute, we still give them whatever we have, whether it is cash or kind, and we just keep the ball rolling wherever. Once they say that we are having an activity, we support our community members by attending the funeral services of their loved ones. We help with, we have community walkthrough as you're showing. There are so many things that we are in, so many other community involvement that we really are a part of. It is just too many to mention. But it is always our pleasure to share. It is always our pleasure to share.
All right. So let's bring in some of the comments. Angela Williams is sharing that she's proud of you, Team CSSB St. Elizabeth. Keep up the great work. And we have Pastor Watson, who's a JP over there in Black River. All right. And resource person for the St. Elizabeth Chaplaincy Service. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Thank you for joining us. And I'm sure you have some great commendation for the team as well, being a part of the team providing chaplaincy service. Awesome. All right, it's great to have you all here. Please remember to share to the wider St. Elizabeth communities so that those who are not aware of the magnitude of the work that the police is doing over there in St. Elizabeth, they can become aware and they can learn how they can be a part of the change that they wish to see in their communities. All right. So we were showing just now the walkthrough, and you were sharing about the different activities. So how can residents contribute to safety efforts in their communities? Some specific areas now how they can contribute. You shared earlier about the parents getting more involved. That's one way. Share some other ways where how the residents can get involved.
Right. The residents have a great role to play. And we spoke earlier about the parent being involved. We speak about supervision of our children. Ensure that they get home on time, give them cut-off period in which they are to reach home. And then by doing so, you ensure that enforce what we have, as we say, the curfew order. We speak of being at home. And we say we are in a time now where we have to move from the days when we used to just leave our homes, our doors open and all of that. We implore persons now to ensure that if you're at the front, you keep your back locked. If you're at the back, you ensure that your front is locked. And we also encourage persons, strange persons in your area, we say call the police. Let us know what is happening. Don't just allow persons to come in and create a safe haven for them. If you are suspicious about a certain person, let us know. We are in an era now where persons will leave from an early age or a tender age to go elsewhere. And then we see them returning to our neighborhoods. And we just allow them to come in, not having any livelihood, not working, not involving anything. You need to notify us, the police, so we can do our background checks. We also notice that persons at times, they come into the area, they are not known to anybody, and they are able to rent places, and they pay this exorbitant rent 4 or 5 months in advance. Those are red flags. Let us know what is happening in your space. We talk about, yes, we know we have to do our exercises because we have to live healthy. So there are times when we do our walks in the morning. I implore persons, we are speaking about safer community. When we do our walk in groups, walk in areas that are properly lit, walk in areas that, there are not a lot of shrubs or trees in your area. And if when you're walking, you see strange person or person behind you, somebody who you're not comfortable with, turn into somebody's yard, or guess what? Call to somebody and join that person with walking. Don't just walk alone by yourself. Walk in areas that are properly lit. At nights, we say to persons, when you're walking, wear light color clothing so you can easily be seen. We speak about going into the shopping areas. Don't walk with your cash in hand or open up like that. Ensure that when you go to I talk about the machines, those ATMs, when you go inside to make your withdrawals, ensure that you have your money tucked away before you exit. When you exit, sometimes person will approach you and want to say, engage in a conversation, want to know where you're going or what your day's activity will be. Don't engage those persons. You don't know them. Don't entertain them in any conversation. So we have to be aware of who we are engaging with, the persons around us. Back to the homes, our children. Don't leave our children unsupervised. And not only that, educate our children about the safe touches, the good touches and the bad touches. Because guess what? Quite often some of our children are being molested by close family members. So we need to educate our children along those lines. Thank you.
All right, thank you. Some practical strategies there that we can use as citizens to safeguard ourselves and to be our good neighbors as well as we go out there, out and about. All right, as it relates to the business community, share some of the strategies that you'd want to see your businesses implementing to help with improving safety in the business space and to make your job as police officers easier.
Okay, very good. Thank you. We continue to implore and to encourage our business partners, CTT TV, ensure those are installed in areas where they are not so easily seen or noticeable. We implore our business community also, before you employ somebody, your employees, ensure that due diligence is done, their backgrounds checks are carried out. And quite recently, our previous commanding officer, and we still continue to do it, he encouraged our business persons that if you need background checks to be done on employees, engage the police and we will do it for you, because when we have employees who we consider okay to be employed in our establishment, then it is less for us most times as police. We also encourage our business persons partner with us every month. Us in St. Elizabeth, we here in St. Elizabeth, we have our widely publicized meetings, and we take it right across the parish of St. Elizabeth. And we engage our business persons at these business meetings, at these widely publicized meetings. Strategies, safety strategies are shared with them. And certain how to implement certain devices in their homes are shared with them. The crime as it affects that particular area shared with them. So they are aware of what is happening in and around their business places. So we implore them, our business meetings, and at our business meeting, we can safely rely on our commanding officer to be there and our detectives to be there. So information can be disseminated, people can be made aware of what is happening. So we use those mediums to enlighten and to make them aware of what it is to keep their business safe, themselves, and the community at large safe.
Awesome. Is there a specific date or day of the month? Do you have a specific time that you usually have those meetings? Is it set?
Could you repeat? We didn't hear. That was not heard, guys.
Okay. Do you have a set date where you usually have those meetings, the widely publicized meetings?
No, we don't have a set date, but each month we roster meetings. So we look at the month, how the agenda for that particular period in that space, and then we see what is happening in those spaces, and then we'll be able to set the date. But we allow the station commanders, the persons who are in charge of the police in that local, to choose a date, and those are the dates that we work alongside with.
All right.
And we at those business meetings too, we not only have our business operators, but we have persons who will come and share other ideas. We have persons from the security company sometimes come in and give some target hardening tips. So we have a partnership approach with those business meetings.
Fantastic. For those members of the communities in general that you go into that might say, but I've never heard about these meetings, how do you usually share the information leading up to the meeting?
We have our social media platform, of course, our Facebook page. We put out flyers. We do one-to-one engagement. We do town cries. So we ensure that everybody gets a chance to be aware of what is happening. And we implore them to come out and to be a part of those meetings.
Amazing. All right. So let's bring in our live audience. So Pastor Watts is congratulating you, Inspector Kane and Corporal Smith. And we have Shanna Williams. Excellent presentation, Inspector Kane and Corporal Smith. You have provided us with timely and useful strategies which will help to keep us and our community safe. Indeed. And let me thank Shanna Williams for subscribing to the channel. And for those of you who are on who have not yet done so, or you may be watching the replay, please go ahead and subscribe. And remember to share so that others can learn and be aware of these awesome strategies so they themselves can be safe and know how they can be their brother and sister's keeper. All right. Thank you so much. Keep the engagement going on in the comments as we continue to share. All right. So you have been engaging in different areas. In terms of your neighborhood watch groups, any success stories that you have to share from there where they have come together and helped to make your job that much easier?
Indeed. Indeed. Our neighborhood watchers, how can we do without them? We can't. We in St. Elizabeth, we have always have a wonderful some wonderful groups that we share with. And even though most of our members are aged, but guess what? As long as the police say that we are going to do, they are going to tag along and they are going to meet with us. Our groups, even though they are not as up and running as we would love to, and this would contribute to the fact that members are aging, what we, however, try to do is to incorporate our police youth club members with our neighborhood watchers, and that kind of give us a little bit of energy, somewhat. We still go in, we still sensitize, we still they still give us information. If there's any information that we need to pass on, we still do that. We have our WhatsApp group that is formed by the various watches. And in so doing, we are better able to see what is happening or to know what is happening within their space. Because believe it or not, they might not be able to move as freely as the younger ones. But whenever things are happening, I am sure that they always send something on the group and we act on it. And we continue to encourage others who are not members of a neighborhood watch to join us. It is not just mere coming to the meetings and sitting down, but we try to engage them. We have even our little outings. We do interwatch where we go to other watches, whether within the parish or out of parish, just to get a little, the rhythm going and to know. And we have our social events too that we take on. And it's coming down to the Christmas season where some of our watches will donate towards whether it is the infirmary or the boys' home or wherever the children's treat. They come on board, they give whatever they have to support us, because every year no matter how small it is, we ensure, and the children are so looking forward towards their Christmas treat from the community safety and security branch and the commanding officer within the parish. So we are still there with them, and we are seeking membership, and very soon we will have a neighborhood watch drive.
Awesome. I love that. The bridging the divide with the age group, the youth club and the neighborhood watchers, because that's how you're gonna create some continuity there. And I'm hoping that you're getting into the schools, so the schools are becoming even more aware, so they can be a part or encourage their parents to be a part of the watch, so they know what exactly the watch is all about and how it can help to keep them safe, and how their parents need to be involved. You have to get the children to buy in, You notice the advertisement, they're putting anything out there that don't appeal to the parents, it's the children. And
very well.
They will knock the pants off you before you to get what they want. So you want to ensure that you appeal to the children, especially the little ones. Once they buy in, that you have the right. All right. Amazing. That's really great stuff that you're doing there. So we have gone through the business group, the schools. Any other program that you have there that you want to highlight?
Thank you, ma'am. Just backtracking a little. Earlier you highlighted the walkthroughs.
Yes.
I want to also to enforce that. The walkthroughs, we also use them to educate and to inform and to keep our communities safe. And I want us to say our partners have been so good. We speak about the ministers fraternal. We speak about the representative from the SDC, the CPFSA, our National Council for Drug Abuse, Restorative Justice, our domestic violence. We have all that august body that is on board, and we work weekly. And sometimes twice per month, we are on our walk through in the various areas, ensuring that we educate our citizens and to keep them safe. And to speak about domestic violence, there is a center in Santa Cruz. And we say to our citizens, our disputes, engage members of the Domestic Violence Center and on the Restorative Justice team. I know they have a passion for what they do, and we are encouraging persons to come on board to help to keep our country, our parish, to make it safer, a place to live, work, and to do business, and to raise our children.
That's right. And just as you spoke about domestic violence, we have Lady Desireen McLeod here sharing great going. She was on the program sharing on domestic violence some time ago. Very informative session. Kudos to you. Thank you, Lady McLeod. Thank you so much, and continue to keep the team spirit alive over there in the St. Elizabeth Police Division. Awesome stuff that you all are doing. All right. We had a lovely video with our police officers doing the what's the song they were dancing to, Jerusalem, but we don't want any infringement on copyright, so we could not share that. But we must say that the officers do much more than just share information. They're part of the entertainment package. So were
Can
you
I
in,
say something? Can
sure,
I say something like that?
yes,
Yes, that is what we have at one of our what we call pop-up. And it is police and patrol uplifting our citizens. And there again, we have our partners from the various agencies that I mentioned earlier. We would identify a location, and then we go in, we set up our tent, and you know, we have our music and we have our agencies there with us, and we distribute our brochures, and you know, we just need to educate and to inform our members. Whilst we are there, we are reassuring our citizens, because the presence of this police in this space then allow them to feel safer. So we continue that right across the parish. We do that.
awesome. Were you in that group?
Sure, sure, I was.
I see you're
Right.
dropping legs.
Right, we're there to keep the momentum going. When you know those things allow the citizens passing and the music and senior police out there interacting, then you know they cause them to come, and then we are able to share with them the information that we have.
Awesome. Was this one of the pop-ups?
Yes, certainly.
All right. So, all right. I see you're sharing there a recruitment drive coming soon. Awesome.
Right.
And interestingly, when this flyer went out, I got a message response to my status saying, I know someone who wants to join the force. So that's amazing. So it's great that they are able to see and know when and where the recruitment drive will be, and that they're still interested in serving and protecting. All right, so let's talk through some of these other photos that we have here. Tell us what's going on here at In-Town Super Center.
Right. The In-Town Super Center, each year they give back to the community. And for this year, and every year we partner with them. So we would go around on the given day. They have a schedule where they go around to different schools within the parish of St. Elizabeth, and they will donate back to the students. And we would go in and we would do presentations within those schools. And again, with our partners, we go in, and they're always looking forward. They're always looking forward to when this time comes around to share with us. And then we too would we have our display booth that students are always anxious. When you see every other booth, it's dry. Then our booth, we always have a lot of students at our booth because they want to try the helmet, they want to try the vest, and you know, the excitement. And we talk to them, you know, they're always there to listen. So this was one of our clipping with our stakeholder In-Town Super Save.
Awesome. And this looks like Read Across Jamaica.
Indeed, it was Corporal Monique Smith from the Community Safety and Security Branch. We were sharing at Little Noble early childhood, and it was awesome. It was awesome to read to the students. Was really something to talk about. And this was a career activity at Mountainside Primary. So we were playing some songs for Peace Day, Give Peace a Chance. So students were really reaching out, and it was just fun.
Same
The same
event.
activity. Yes, it's the
Yes.
same event.
All right, your walk
And
through.
that is the walkthrough, right? And this is
And
our divisional church service. And you realize that the policemen and women, various ranks, we are all there. And
in your
we
numbers.
call, right, the team is led by our commanding officer, of course. So we go to different churches across the parish of St. Elizabeth monthly, sometimes twice per month. We go into the different areas, to sensitize our citizens and to partner with them, letting them getting to know the policemen and women that serve the area. And this is one of our pop-ups,
Awesome. All
right?
right. So the St.
Information share.
Elizabeth Police Division fostering safe schools and communities. All right. So awesome. And yeah, the passionate sharing Kwame says he's loving this. I am loving it too. Amazing. Love the awesome work that you all are doing in the various divisions. Always awesome to see and as you engage with the children and the citizens in general. So, are there upcoming initiatives to enhance safety in St. Elizabeth? Any upcoming initiative?
Yes, we know that we are fastly approaching the Christmas season.
Yeah.
And the Community Safety and Security Branch, just like any other arm of the Jamaica Constabulary Force, we will be out there. We have decided, we have taken discussion that we will be going not only in the day, but we'll be having some night patrols in the various districts. So instead of just having us in the days going through the patrol in the areas, they'll be seeing more of us in the nights. They will be seeing more of us on the streets. We'll be taking onto the plazas, especially in the town centers, where we can interact with our children. We can engage our citizens, particularly the elderly, because you know that during this period, they become more vulnerable. So we are ensuring that we have decided to go forward in ensuring that we keep our areas safe. So our presence will be there more for this period.
Awesome. All right. And I'm sure they're looking forward to the Christmas treat. So you gotta
Exactly.
get the plans rolling so you have bounce about and all those nice good stuff, popcorn machine and so.
Oh yeah.
Oh yes, and it goes back to partnership. Our ministers fraternal and our different the JPs or different stakeholders. They have always been on board, and of course our commanding officer always on board. So we are looking forward to a very nice Christmas season. And I know the children are enthused. They always look forward, and I guarantee you they won't be disappointed this year.
Awesome. Just love the energy.
Thank
Keep it
you.
going, Team
Thank
St.
you.
Elizabeth.
Thank you.
Awesome. Some awesome initiatives there. And these practical strategies too that you have shared where business and the wider community parents can be actively engaged in being a part of fostering that safer school and community that they want to see. Hi, Cecilia. Yeah, congratulations indeed. We have to give commendations when commendations are due because the police, they're indeed doing an awesome job. And that's what we highlight here, the awesome stuff that the police is doing and what it is that we can do as citizens to help to make their jobs easier and our spaces safer. And there is an entire playlist from the beginning of our discussions with the different programs that you can binge on. So spend some time and go through and see where the different programs are highlighted, how they were designed to help us as citizens, and how we can help to make them even serve us better. All right, so you can go through and check those out, the different areas and different programs. A lot more coming on because I'm sure I saw a relatively new program for the youth that that was launched recently, but we'll have more in this space. So you just need to stay tuned. November is Youth Month, so we will be rolling out some of those so that you can be further enlightened as to the different programs, how you can encourage your young people to be a part of these programs so that they can stay safe. And if they're safe and they practice safe habits, then we can have safer schools, safer communities. All right, let's take some of the commendations. I appreciate the work you all are doing, the plan and advice they have. Thank you so much. Thank you all for sharing. Inspector McCurdy Kane, Corporal Smith Shaw, thank you so much for making the time to share in this space the awesome work that the team over there, I keep seeing Team K. What's the K? What does the K stand for?
The kilo representing the division, St. Elizabeth division. So right.
So each division has a letter.
Right, is assigned. So K is for St. Elizabeth.
All right. So Manchester is what letter?
No, Lima. L.
L. And yes. Clarendon?
Mike. M.
KLM. All right. I'm learning. When you're coming into this space, we do this every Thursday, 8 p.m. As long as I'm up and well, and God has been gracious over the past 2 years. We do this each Thursday where we have different conversations. On second Thursdays is the JCF Area 3. First Thursday, we have Culture Corner with JCDC. If you missed our celebration of Miss Lou last week, you want to go back and watch that. The Louise Bennett Coverley Primary School gave us a treat last week. We had 2 of our youngest guests in the space from the primary school sharing their poems and singing their Miss Lou songs. You want to go back and check that out. Really awesome. And please share and encourage others to subscribe to the channel so that they can get information that will help them as they navigate life. In general, we have third Thursdays, we look at community development. As a matter of fact, we had St. Elizabeth Parish Development Committee on. So if you missed that, you want to check it out. There is a video there in the community, not community safety now. Just look for the video with the St. Elizabeth Parish Development Committee sharing the awesome stuff about the rebranding of St. Elizabeth so that you can know what's going on, how you can be a part of that. Lend your voice to the conversation. On fourth Thursdays, we have the Clarendon Municipal Corporation sharing. The councillors are sharing what they're doing in their space. We took a break in August. We're back. So we're going to be having 2 councillors coming up next fourth Thursday, sharing what's going on, the challenges that they're having. So if you want to see your councillors from St. Elizabeth sharing and all of that, you need to be reaching out and let them know that you want to hear more from them once you tune in and see what Clarendon councillors are doing in terms of the highlights. On fifth Thursdays, we highlight our youth leadership. Last month, we had the student council sharing, group sharing from 3 different high schools in Clarendon, what it is that they can share in terms of strategies for the younger ones to navigate the new environment at high school. So you want to check those out as well. All right. Well done, St. Elizabeth CSSB. Thank you for keeping us safe. And let me thank you, our live viewers, for your active participation. And for those who are just cheering on in the background silently, and for those who will be watching the replay, let me thank you and thank you in advance for subscribing and sharing so that others can know the awesome work that the police is doing over there in St. Elizabeth and in the Area 3 and Jamaica in general. Thank you again, and you all continue to stay safe. Inspector Kane, Corporal Smith Shaw, again, have an absolutely amazing rest of the evening, and we will do this again soon, God's willing. All right.
Thank
Take care.
you.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you very
Always
much, Serenity Connect. God bless you.
awesome.